Have you ever felt like time is moving faster than you ever expected? One day you're full of energy, tackling challenges without a second thought, and the next you find yourself pausing to catch your breath, wondering when things changed. The reality is, aging brings transformations that can be both surprising and challenging. But here's the truth: understanding what's ahead can make all the difference in how you navigate this stage of life. In this video, we're diving into 5 undeniable realities of getting older, ones that everyone eventually faces, whether they see it coming or not. From shifting social circles to unexpected changes in how you see yourself, these insights will give you a new perspective on aging and how to embrace it with confidence. Make sure to stay until the end, because some of these points might just change the way you look at growing older forever. Now let's get started. Number 1. Energy levels decline. As we journey through life, one of the first changes we notice is that our energy isn't what it used to be. I remember a friend, Helen, in her early 70s, who once described her younger self as a tireless whirlwind, bouncing from one event to another, always ready for the next adventure. Today, she cherishes her slow, mindful morning walks and the quiet moments with her cat by the window. Helen's story is a reminder that while our bodies might not keep up with the relentless pace of our youth, they still hold a reservoir of wisdom and resilience. When you were younger, perhaps you could work a full day, engage in strenuous activities, and then still have enough energy to enjoy a late dinner with friends. Now, by mid-afternoon, you might feel that gentle tug from your body, reminding you that rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Studies have shown that after the age of 60, many individuals experience a gradual decline in energy levels, partly due to natural metabolic changes and a slower rate of recovery from physical exertion. Yet this change doesn't mean we are any less vibrant. It simply calls for a more mindful approach to how we spend our energy. For instance, consider the story of Robert, a retired teacher in his 80s. Instead of pushing himself to the brink every day, he learned to prioritize activities that nourish his soul. He now spends his mornings tending to his garden, a gentle exercise that not only keeps him active, but also connects him with nature. In the afternoons, he reserves time for a quiet cup of tea with his neighbor, cherishing the calm and the slow pace of the day. There's a beautiful phrase often shared among us: life lessons from the elderly, lessons that remind us that wisdom often comes in the form of listening to our bodies and valuing our time. By embracing a routine that honors our natural rhythms, we allow ourselves to enjoy life more fully, even if it means moving a little slower. Think back to a time when you had boundless energy. What was one activity you loved doing then, and how might you adapt it to suit your life now? Number 2, social circles shrink as the years pass. There was a time when our days were filled with constant chatter, bustling gatherings, and an ever-expanding network of friends, colleagues, and acquaintances. I recall my own youthful days spent at lively community picnics and neighborhood block parties, where laughter echoed down the streets. However, as time passed, the vibrant mosaic of faces began to condense into a smaller, more intimate group. Take, for example, my dear friend James, who, in his 50s, was the life of every party. Over the years, as life's responsibilities grew and paths diverged, he found that the number of people he interacted with regularly began to dwindle. But what he discovered was that the few connections that remained were enriched with deep meaning and understanding. He now spends his weekends with a close-knit circle of friends, each meeting filled with heartfelt conversations, shared memories, and the kind of laughter that only true familiarity can inspire. It's important to understand that as we age, our social circles naturally shrink. Research suggests that older adults often have fewer but more significant relationships compared to younger individuals, who may have a broader yet shallower network of connections. And while it might seem sad at first to lose the busyness of a large social life, there is great beauty in cultivating relationships that are honest, supportive, and enduring. When I think about the phrase "life lessons from the elderly," I see it shining brightly here. These lessons remind us that quality, not quantity, is what matters. The genuine conversations, the shared silences, and the quiet presence of someone who truly understands you can fill your heart with warmth and joy. In many ways, a smaller circle becomes a treasured family, a community that stands by you through every high and low. If you're still here, thank you for sharing this quiet moment with me. If today's message touched something true in your life, just comment number 2 so I know you're here. And if you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe and tap the bell so you won't miss what's next. This channel is a gentle space where experience matters, kindness is shared, and growing older means something. I'm truly grateful. Number 3, appearance and self-perception shift. Now, let's talk about something that touches us all, the way we see ourselves in the mirror. I remember the first time I truly noticed the subtle changes in my own reflection. It wasn't a dramatic moment, but rather a gentle whisper of time, a realization that the face staring back at me carried stories of joy, sorrow, and resilience. My hair, once a symbol of youth, now held streaks of silver, and the lines on my face were not imperfections, but the delicate traces of a life well lived. Consider Maria, a vibrant soul in her late 70s. Maria used to spend hours perfecting her look, meticulously trying to hold on to the glow of her youth. Over time, however, she began to see her wrinkles as badges of honor, a testament to decades of laughter, tears, and unforgettable experiences. When asked about her journey, Maria smiled and said, "These lines have seen my best moments. They are my memoir, written on my face." It's not unusual to experience a shift in self-perception as we grow older. Society often places a high premium on youth and external appearance, but as the years accumulate, many of us start to understand that true beauty is rooted in character, wisdom, and compassion. Recent studies indicate that self-esteem in older adults often shifts from a focus on appearance to an emphasis on inner qualities and life accomplishments. In sharing this, I can't help but recall another important reminder encapsulated in "Life Lessons from the Elderly," that our self-worth is not measured by the smoothness of our skin or the fullness of our hair, but by the depth of our experiences and the kindness we share with the world. Each wrinkle is a line in the story of your life, and every silver strand is a symbol of the wisdom you've gathered over the years. Think of a moment when you looked at an old photograph of yourself. What emotions or memories did that image evoke, and how do you view those changes now? Number 4, health becomes a daily priority. As the chapters of our lives unfold, one of the most profound shifts we encounter is in our approach to health. There was a time when we could dismiss minor aches and pains as mere nuisances. I recall a period in my life when staying active and healthy seemed secondary to the excitement of living in the moment. But as the years passed, the importance of health began to take center stage. Let me tell you about Samuel, a lively gentleman in his early 80s who once considered himself invincible. Samuel used to spend his days gardening, playing with his grandchildren, and even participating in local sports. However, after a minor health scare, he embraced a new philosophy. His body was his most precious asset. Samuel started scheduling regular checkups, incorporating gentle exercises like Tai Chi into his daily routine, and paying closer attention to his diet. His transformation wasn't just physical, it was an inspiring shift in mindset. He became a beacon of hope for others, demonstrating that proactive health management can lead to a vibrant, fulfilling life, even in the later years. Statistics from reputable health organizations suggest that regular physical activity and balanced nutrition can reduce the risk of chronic diseases by up to 50% in older adults. This is not merely a number, it's a reminder that taking care of ourselves can truly extend the quality and joy of our years. Health, as we learn from our experiences, isn't just about the absence of illness, but the active pursuit of wellness. Every morning, many of us wake up a little differently than we did decades ago, perhaps with a stiff joint or a reminder to take it slow. Yet, in these moments, we find an opportunity to listen to our bodies, to adapt our routines, and to celebrate the resilience that comes with age. In sharing these thoughts, I'm reminded of another valuable insight often captured in Life Lessons from the Elderly, the idea that our health is a lifelong journey. Every decision we make today has the potential to shape our tomorrows. Embracing healthy habits, no matter how small, is a tribute to the vibrant life we've lived and the many days still to come. If you're still here, thank you for sharing this quiet moment with me. If today's message touched something true in your life, just comment number 4 so I know you're here. And if you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe and tap the bell so you won't miss what's next. This channel is a gentle space where experience matters, kindness is shared, and growing older means something. I'm truly grateful you're here. Number 5, sense of purpose evolves. One of the biggest shifts that happens as you age isn't just physical, it's internal. It's the realization that the things that once gave you a strong sense of purpose may no longer be there. For decades, life was built around responsibilities, routines, and roles that shaped your identity. You were a worker, a provider, a caregiver, someone people depended on. And then one day you find yourself in a quieter phase of life, wondering what now. It's an adjustment that many don't see coming. When you were younger, you had clear markers of success, career achievements, raising a family, contributing to society in a way that felt tangible. But as those responsibilities shift or fade, it's easy to feel like you've lost a part of yourself. Some people struggle with this more than others, retire and feel lost without their job, or when their children grow up and start their own lives, the house feels emptier and the routines that once structured their days disappear. Suddenly, they're left trying to figure out what comes next. The truth is, purpose isn't something you lose with age, it evolves. The problem isn't that there's nothing left to do, it's that the definition of what gives life meaning has to change, and that change can be uncomfortable at first. The people who navigate this transition well are the ones who actively seek out new ways to engage with the world. They find hobbies, volunteer, mentor, travel, and invest time in relationships, learning, and personal growth. They understand that purpose isn't tied to a title or a role. It's tied to how you spend your time and who you share it with. One of the best things about aging is that you finally have the freedom to focus on what truly matters. You're no longer chasing the things that seemed so urgent in your younger years. You get to slow down, reflect, and make choices based on what genuinely brings you fulfillment. Maybe it's picking up an old passion you never had time for, or giving back in a way that makes a difference, or simply appreciating life in a way you never did before. The key is not to fall into the trap of thinking that aging is about stepping aside or becoming less relevant. Your value doesn't diminish with time, it deepens. Experience, wisdom, and perspective are things that only come with age. When you embrace them, you realize that life doesn't stop giving you purpose just because one chapter has ended. It simply invites you to write the next one on your own terms. Take a moment to reflect on a time when you discovered a new passion or purpose later in life. What sparked that change, and how did it transform your daily routine or outlook on life? Final thoughts. As we come to the close of our time together, I invite you to pause and reflect on the 5 realities of aging we've discussed today. Which one resonated with you the most? Perhaps you noticed a gentle change in your energy, felt the natural ebb and flow of your social circle, observed a shift in how you see yourself, or found yourself rethinking how you care for your health and nurture your sense of purpose. Remember, aging is not about losing the essence of who you are. It's about growing, adapting, and embracing each change with a spirit of gratitude and purpose. Over the years, we learned that every wrinkle tells a story, every silver hair carries a memory, and each day offers a fresh lesson. These life lessons remind us that with age comes wisdom, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for the simple joys of living. In our later years, we've come to understand that life is about intentional living. It's about taking care of our well-being, cherishing our relationships, and finding meaning in the little moments that make life so precious. Let go of what no longer serves you. Lean into what brings you comfort and joy, and always remember that your best days are not behind you. They are unfolding with every new sunrise. As you reflect on your journey, consider this. Every experience has shaped you, and every challenge has added to your strength. Share with us one lesson or philosophy that has guided you, and how you plan to carry it forward in your life. Your stories, your insights, and your wisdom are a treasure to all who listen. If today's message touched your heart, please do share your thoughts and memories in the comments below. Your encouragement and shared wisdom inspire us to continue creating content that informs and uplifts our community. Thank you for joining us today. As you continue on your journey, remember this simple truth: growing older is a privilege, and each day is a new page in the beautiful story of your life. Do not regret growing older. It is a privilege denied to many.